In Exodus, the 8th episode of Season 6 of The Handmaid's Tale, Serena Joy Waterford and Commander Gabriel Wharton got married in the most extravagant wedding you're ever likely to see in Gilead. And without a cake, what would a wedding be? Crafted by Rita, Serena's former Martha, the confection was so large that you could reasonably assume a handmaid would leap out of it and start a massacre right then. Serena's wedding was not The Handmaid's Tale Season 6's take on Game of Thrones' Red Wedding, despite the color scheme of the cake, and, in fact, the handmaids. The cake was supposed to be the key to the numerous deaths that were predicted and even anticipated to occur at the wedding. Rita might poison it, killing everyone at once, causing vomiting, or other riotous situations. The cake was crucial to the conclusion of The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 8, even though the show adopted a more subdued approach. The wedding cake was laced with something, even though it wasn't so severely poisoned that it killed the commanders. As demonstrated by the sleeping commander at the very end, Rita included a potent sedative in the cake that had been smuggled to her in the vials seen in the previous episode. This was done with the intention of ensuring that the commanders and their wives fall asleep after a few hours. This explains why the handmaids themselves don't consume any of the cake, instead stashing it beneath their chairs when the time is right, until Aunt Lydia finds it and realizes something is seriously wrong. In a similar vein, Commander Lawrence encouraged his wife to eat the cake but refrained from doing so himself because he knew about the scheme. In the end, the handmaids and Rita had a better idea with this plan. While the sedative permits their plans to proceed without significant risk at the wedding itself, poisoning the cake might have backfired because it would have been more difficult to control who consumed it and there would have been a chance of innocent people being harmed, or violence breaking out. Without the wedding cake being laced with a sedative, June's plan might not have been impossible, but it would have been extremely difficult, leaving the handmaids in a much weaker position. The handmaids are actually able to exact their revenge because of Rita, who aptly gets to play a significant part in aiding in the destruction of the Boston region of Gilead. Following the minor issue of eliminating any commander they come across, June now has an army of handmaids who are turning to the light. It will be relatively easy pickings for the handmaids, as each one appears ready to murder their own commander, or at least that would be the sensible course of action. Once more, the person dozing off at the end, with a handmaid coming up behind them while they're unconscious, is a perfect illustration of how successful the cake was. Cake's significant role in the handmaid's defeat of Gilead is perfectly fitting. According to its regulations, handmaids are not allowed to consume sweets. They must follow strict diets because the commanders see them as being used for reproduction. In an attempt to demonstrate how things will be different in New Bethlehem, Serena gave them cake at the wedding. However, by refusing to eat the dessert, the handmaids were able to carry out their revenge plan. This reminds me of Birthday, which is the second episode of Season 1 of The Handmaid's Tale. The wives are eating a variety of pastries and cookies, which the handmaids are lusting after. One of them remarks, "They pig out while we do all the work." Serena gives June a macaron in a show of kindness that is really just a joke. She spits it out once out of sight while feigning to eat it, rejecting the offering because she knows what it is meant to do. All of that resurfaces in The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 8, when Serena offers the wedding cake once more. The handmaids receive something much sweeter, retribution, by turning it down and allowing the others to pig out while they plan.